It was amazing. It was always, a lot of singing going on at family events and family functions. Lots of just, you know, being silly. I loved that when we would get together at family functions, we would always hear them sing together, even if they were just joking around. And I liked the travel because sometimes we got to travel with them. Yeah. So from when I was very little, I was traveling and I didn't realize I was doing things that my peers weren't doing, they were in school.
History repeating.
Welcome back to History Repeating and our first episode with Camille Young, the daughter of Debbie Sledge. I'm sure everyone remembers Sister Sledge from their classic hits in the 1970s and 80s. He's the Greatest Dancer, Lost in Music, and of course, We Are Family. The last song was written by the great Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards for the group, and Rodgers has said that the sisters, Debbie, Kathy, Kim, and Joni, inspired the track because of how close they were. And to this day, the group is still as close as ever, being comprised of all family members, including Camille. But this is not Camille's only musical endeavor, and it took some time, but she now realizes that being a part of the Sledge family is a blessing and something that she should embrace.
It feels amazing. I've one of the ones out of all the kids, out of all the the offspring, I feel like I'm one of the ones that really decided to do music on my own as well. And so I've been doing music and I have been, just trying to make it on my own and thinking I don't need to tell people that I'm Sister Sledge's daughter because I want to build up my own merit. But now I feel like it's just a blessing that I need to embrace, and all of the blessings that come along with all of their accomplishments, I'm able to really see, feel, and be a part of. And that is amazing. So I obviously just over over the hill, over the moon.
Fans all over the world have been embracing the new lineup of sledges, and for Camille, joining the group wasn't that hard. She had grown up in the industry, watching her mom and aunts and going on tours, so she was able to jump right into it.
It seems that people really embrace because the idea of family is such a huge theme running throughout our family. So that I didn't even think about when my mom said, "Hey, do you want to do this show with us? Do you want to come on do this show?" I did a few shows here and there, and I would always just, come on. I guess I thought it was when one of my aunts couldn't make it, I would just come on and sub, because I, of course, knew all the songs. And it was just down to a matter of learning your harmony part and learning the choreography and having fun. And so that was easy. That was easy to jump in. It wasn't a lot of memorization. It wasn't a lot of, but there were a lot of rehearsals. I'm not gonna lie. There were rehearsal. My mom is a rehearsal person. She loves rehearsal. And so I'm starting to turn into that. I'm turning into my mom.
As I mentioned before, Sister Sledge is not Camille's only musical project. She's been working with various groups, doing an array of different genres for years now.
That's my home project. I'm still part of the Phoenix Afrobeat Orchestra. I still do my own solo shows as well. So I do you know, do shows in the United States a lot. And I also do shows overseas. I'm not gonna lie, I do shows overseas with a jazz trio that I'm with in Copenhagen. Um, the Niels Landoki International Jazz Collective is actually what it's called. I've been a part of that group for about 5 years, I wanna say. Maybe even a little bit longer. Wow. I'm looking at posters and stuff and I'm like, it's probably been a little over 5 years. And the jazz, um, band that I play with in Amsterdam as well. So I've just been doing little projects here and there, and I've always come together with family to do stuff. And when it doesn't feel like a switch. It doesn't feel like I'm changing or leaving that group or leaving this group. It just feels like joining another group that I've always been a part of, which is my family. It doesn't feel like a huge shift.
Music is a part of Camille, and it's what she loves. And so going between all those genres, funk, jazz, Afrobeat, and even her mom's music, hasn't been that big of a shift for her, because she thinks of every project as a part of herself.
I don't think it's a shift at all because it's still me. So when I'm being myself, I consider it to be hip hop. I consider that's the era that I was raised in. That's the music I grew up on. And then I really relate all of those types of music to hip hop very closely. I mean, jazz, it's a lot of improvisation, which you'll find in hip hop. Jazz is a lot of, shifting the songs to make them your own, which you'll find in hip hop a lot. Um, Sounds and updating stuff and renewing things. I like to just push myself. So I don't feel like it's a shift as much as I feel like it's just me finding myself in these other genres. In Afrobeat, I think it's just a mix of jazz, funk, hip hop, all of these things that I am already a part of. It already feels like a part of me, a part of who I am. And so when I joined the Afrobeat band, it was something that I did as like a passion project, like on the side. It wasn't something I thought would be my main, project. And then it became this fun, huge 15-piece band in Phoenix, here in Phoenix, where I live. And people loved it. And we've been having this fun community time. But what we really do is activism. And political activism is something I've been super involved with ever since I was like in high school. And so I feel like that wasn't a shift at all. That was just who I was. It's more like chant down and, you know, rah, rah, rah. It's a lot of protest and I love it. That's something that I do anyway. And a lot of dancing and jam, so I like that we just jam out. Everybody in the band is kind of having these difficult conversations so that we can write a song about it. Even if we don't all agree, we come to one accord on the song. And so it hasn't been as much as like a shift as I would say it has been just me finding myself in these different genres of music and just sort of going with it, trying to make it my own. And that's what we call hip hop.
Camille hopes that in the future, her children will have the love for the music like she does, and that the group can continue on for many generations. It really is great when artists bring their children into the group to continue the legacy. And Camille is so glad it's happening with so many groups all over the world.
I've seen Earth, Wind, and Fire is doing that. They have a lot of their sons in the band. I've seen um, Sly and the Family Stone. I met Sly Stone's daughter, and she looks just like him. You can tell it's her, it's him. I've seen and met a lot of bands really just embracing their kids and bringing them up to love music just as much as they did in a way that they want to carry and continue on those legacies. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't even really have to be family though. I think it has to be to where it feels like you you care about the music and you love it, you know. I've seen so many groups just continue their legacy on. Even like people a lot of times say the Temptations, they just carried on and they continued even though they got shifting members. But to me it feels like the Temptations when you see them because they have this love for this legacy. The people that take on those jobs, they care about that legacy. Like you're not going to join the Temptations band if you don't really know or love their music and care, right? And
Yeah.
continue with it. Yeah. So I mean, I've seen that and I'm loving it, and I hope that families around the world to see their kids and see their grandkids loving the things that they love, because it's an amazing feeling.
Sister Sledge may be best remembered for their hits during the disco era, but they're continuing to make new music, including a fantastic new release called Free, which Camille helped to write. So look out for our next episode to find out about the new music from Sister Sledge. Until next time, this has been History Repeating.